Dionne Warwick was born. Marie Dionne Warwick on December 12, 1940, in East Orange, New Jersey, into a home where music wasn't just entertainment, it was a way of life. Her mother, Lee Drinkard Warwick, managed the famed Drinkard Singers, a revered gospel group whose harmonies filled churches with spirit and strength. Her father, Mansell Warwick, worked hard to provide for the family while nurturing a deep appreciation for culture and creativity. From the time she could walk, Dionne grew up surrounded by rehearsals, hymns, and the rich traditions of African American gospel music. Faith, discipline, and community shaped her early years. Singing wasn't something she learned later, it was something she simply breathed in alongside everyone else in the house. Finding her voice. Early. As a young girl, Dionne joined her sister Dee Dee and their aunt Cissy Houston to form a small gospel group. Those early performances built her confidence and taught her how to command a stage with grace rather than flash. Even then, her voice stood out, smooth, precise, and emotionally honest. Music ran deep in her family tree. Her cousin Whitney Houston would later become one of the greatest singers the world has ever known, and Dee Dee carved out her own successful path too. Surrounded by that level of talent, Dionne didn't feel pressure, she felt purpose. Somewhere along the way, she realized that singing wasn't just a gift, it was her calling. Humble beginnings and a life-changing meeting. Before fame arrived, Dionne paid her dues like countless young musicians. While studying at the Hart College of Music in Connecticut, she worked as a session singer, lending her voice quietly behind the scenes. Those studio days sharpened her control and professionalism. Then came the moment that would change everything. In the early 1960s, she met composer Burt Bacharach and lyricist Hal David. They immediately recognized something special in her voice, a rare ability to sound elegant and vulnerable at the same time. Their partnership would become legendary. Together, they crafted songs that felt tailor-made for Dionne, songs that wrapped around her voice like silk. The soundtrack of the 1960s. Her first hit, Don't Make Me Over, opened the door. What followed was a remarkable run of classics: Walk On By, Anyone Who Had a Heart, I Say a Little Prayer, Message to Michael, and Do You Know the Way to San Jose? These weren't just chart successes, they became part of everyday life. Her voice played on radios in kitchens, cars, and late-night living rooms. There was something timeless about her delivery. She didn't oversing, she didn't dramatize. She simply told the truth of the lyric, and listeners trusted her. By the end of the decade, Dionne Warwick wasn't just popular, she was essential. Reinvention and staying power. As the music world changed, Dionne changed with it. The 1970s brought new labels and new sounds. Under Clive Davis at Arista Records, she experienced a powerful resurgence with songs like I'll Never Love This Way Again and Deja Vu, both of which earned Grammy Awards. She proved that longevity wasn't about chasing trends, but about staying authentic. Then came That's What Friends Are For in 1985, alongside Elton John, Gladys Knight, and Stevie Wonder. Originally just a collaboration, it grew into a global anthem for friendship and compassion, raising millions for AIDS research. Dionne wasn't just singing hits anymore, she was using her voice to help people. A heart for humanity. Beyond the spotlight, Dionne always carried a deep sense of responsibility. She devoted herself to humanitarian work, serving as a United Nations ambassador and advocating for hunger relief, health awareness, and equality. She believed music could do more than entertain. It could comfort, educate, and unite. Whether visiting communities overseas or supporting charitable causes at home, she showed that fame meant little if it didn't serve others. That generosity became just as much a part of her legacy as any song she recorded. Love, marriage, and family life. In 1966, at the height of her early fame, Dionne married actor and musician William Elliott. Their relationship was passionate, creative, and, like many young marriages in the entertainment world, complicated. They divorced, reconciled, and even remarried in Italy in a romantic second ceremony. Together, they welcomed two sons, David and Damon. Motherhood grounded Dionne in a way nothing else could. Despite tours and recordings, she made sure her children felt loved and supported. Both sons later followed musical paths of their own, proof that the family's creative spirit lived on. Although her marriage eventually ended for good in 1975, Dionne often said that raising her boys remained one of her greatest joys. Grace through the years. Through the 1990s and 2000s, Dionne continued touring and recording, introducing new generations to her catalog. Her phrasing, clarity, and emotional intelligence never faded. While trends came and went, her voice remained unmistakable. Audiences didn't just attend her shows for nostalgia, they came because she still delivered every lyric with heart. There's something comforting about watching an artist grow older with dignity, and Dionne embodied that kind of quiet strength. The Sinatra confession. Then came a moment of reflection that caught many people by surprise. At 84, Dionne spoke tenderly about one man who had left a lasting impression on her, Frank Sinatra. "He was the only one who could do that to me," she admitted softly. It wasn't about fame. She had plenty of that herself. It was about presence. Sinatra, she explained, had an energy that filled a room without effort. When he sang, you believed him completely. As a fellow interpreter of lyrics, Dionne admired that deeply. He encouraged her, gave advice, and treated her with genuine respect. "He made me feel seen," she said. For someone who had spent decades in the spotlight, that simple acknowledgement meant everything. A legacy built on connection. Looking back now, Dionne Warwick's story isn't just about hit records or awards, though she has plenty of both. It's about connection. Her voice has comforted heartbreaks, celebrated friendships, and carried hope through generations. She showed that elegance could be powerful, that softness could be strong, and that authenticity lasts longer than hype. Even icons have people who inspire them, and her memories of Sinatra reveal the humility behind the legend. Still singing, still shining. Today, Dionne moves through life with the same grace she carried onto every stage. She's not chasing the spotlight anymore. She simply shares her music, her wisdom, and her stories when she feels called to, and maybe that's the most beautiful part of all. After decades in an industry that can be loud and demanding, she remains steady, warm, and unmistakably herself. Her journey reminds us that true greatness isn't about volume, it's about heart. And Dionne Warwick has always had plenty of that.